Okay, so we've got the TX12 from Radiomaster, and it's got an issue with a Switce. So let's see what we can do about that. Let's open up the battery compartment and try to pull the battery. And it doesn't want to pull. But it's going to have to. And it did. I could have took them out, but where's the fun in that? So this is flatulent heads. And what do I think? Would this fit? I usually grab this big one first. Boy, and it does. She fits, Captain. That opened up. That appears to be the same screw. I don't think there's a screw behind that JR adapter cover. It doesn't come apart, then we'll check. Yeah, those are all the same screws. So normally I'd take and lay the screws out in the same, like if I got this turned like this, then I'd take and lay the screws out spaced exactly the way I pulled them out, and potentially even take a picture of the screws to confirm exactly where they all go. So that's not wanting to come off there. So let me see if these actually pop off. Apparently they do. So those are some kind of clips. So these are E goes to the left and F goes to the right. So that's how we're going to stick them. I love it when wires don't come off with all this stuff right here. You got to worry about trying to deal with all that. So I think we're in luck. It just appears to be 3 wires tied into it. So what triggered this? Because I actually ordered a switch set, which would be exactly, these 4 switches. And I ordered an upgrade for another one. I mean, I've done this stuff, and hey, man, that's great. It's wonderful. I just plug the switches in and have them replaced, and everything's great. And AliExpress keeps canceling my order. And I guess, like, well, we're not going to ship it. Well, I guess that's their prerogative. And my prerogative just not to buy anything from them anymore. I mean, I don't really understand why they'll let you order it, and then a couple of days later they'll cancel it. And so they've done that a couple of times. And then the upgrade I had for another box to make it a multi a multi um, a multi-protocol component. Um, they canceled that. So I don't know. It's really aggravating. But I mean, I can get almost anything off of eBay that I can get on AliExpress. So I guess I'm going to prove that to them. And this is something else I got off of. I think this come off of. There we go. I think this come off of Timu. Kind of glad I got it now. Boogering it up a little bit, but there's no other way I'd be able to get this off other than using a pair of pliers. Now, what would really suck is if that this piece won't screw on to the other switch. But I can deal with that too. I'm gonna didn't work out as good as I'd like for it to work. So oh dime. Where you at, dime? If I got to squeeze on this too hard, I'll put a some kind of something, which that's not bad. Man, I don't know if they put Loctite on this thing or what. Or maybe it was tweaked or something. Because it's loose, then it gets hard. Then it's loose, and it gets hard. And that's usually indicative to something being egg-shaped or something. So now I can just see on this. Oh wow, it just fits right on there. That's nice. Okay, so let's get this switch out. And this switch is in there like that. So black wire on top, yellow in the middle, orange on the bottom. And it's just a 3-position switch, so I don't really see where there's any big deal one way or another. That one fits just perfectly right back in there. So, and chances are I could probably take this apart and maybe even put this component in here and reuse the same switch, but I'm just not into that. So I'm going to try some more of this solder paste. Where's the Hershey is? TX12A. Which this is all well and good. I mean, I've had the iron and used it a decent amount. I just really haven't done any video using the HSO2A, but I sure had a lot of conversations about it and all that. So it's nice to actually think about doing some videos when I got it cracked out here to work with. So it's nice. I'm going to get on the edge, and I don't know if the video is going to hold this all in, but I know you can't hear all that. Or maybe you can, I don't know. Let's go. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh. Okay. And now I've got a nice little solder blob on each one. And this right here has kind of got a little bit of a glue or something on it, which I believe is just kind of helping the wire connections from maybe vibrating loose or something. I don't know. Let's see what I am. No, I'm not. That's going to eventually get in my way. I really need to get my third hand out because this could get complicated. Look, Ma, no burns. Okay. All right, and now for the last one. Well, come on, man. Come on. No, get on the couch. Yeah, I don't like that one. You know what? Solder can harden fast. In other words, you get it melted, and it don't take but a second for it to harden and get back to where you can release the wire. Unless you're burning your finger. If your finger's getting hot, the solder takes forever to cool off. So that's not a party solder, but I done turned my solder off. So I'm not going to make it prettier. I'm just going to leave it like it is. So black, orange, or black, yellow, and orange. Let's put it back through here. Okay, so that doesn't, it doesn't, it's the collar is still not all the way down. So I thought maybe I could leave that nut on the back. Don't really know why I would want to, but I had planned on that. But and these are just 3-position switches I bought on eBay a long time ago for I think I was going to make a variable, kind of programmable resistor pack, and so I bought these to do that with. And I think I was also going to do the same way with capacitors or something, and all that kind of good stuff. And so anyway, I didn't. Yeah, I don't like the way those just loose in there, but okay. So all right, there we have it. The switch doesn't naturally match the original switches, but they're just fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So now let's put the cover back on. Get our screws back in there. And then we'll get the battery back in here and we will test it. Because if I remember when I did the unboxing on this, I just throwed some batteries in there and turned it on, and it was giving me switch errors, telling me, or not switch errors, but it was giving me, set switches to uh, default location, or default settings or whatever. And so I was able to flip all of my switches in the right direction, and then it was telling me about one last switch that was needed to be switched, and it was that one. And I was able to stick something up in there and flip it and get it to set once, but it wasn't. It didn't stay, and so anyway, now we got a switch in place, and we're going to test to see how well it does what it's supposed to does with all its stuff it needs to does it with. So the E was on the left, and the F was on the right. Now we all back together. Let's put the battery back in here. And it doesn't have a SD card, so I need to stick an SD card in it. I'll find a little small one or something. I don't know what size of SD card you need to put in one of these. I assume that's probably for telemetry information or some kind of something. So you got to hold it for a second till it goes through it. So open TX, throttle warning, and it's on. Perfect. So that switch is working just fine. So here's the thing. Let me turn it back off. And so I'm going to flip all these switches up, and then we're going to turn it back on. Throttle warning. Now we got SB up, SC up, SC up, SE up, and SF. So that one's out. That one's out. That one's out. That one's out, and she comes up. So you don't have to buy the actual factory switches to fix these radios if you have a broke switch. And I've probably got a good handful left up there in my little box of stuff. And I'm going to keep this one because it's just the little tip that's broken on it. And I mean, I can probably fix this and or reuse it if I had to. It's small. I'm kind of getting to the point that I don't want to keep stuff that I might can use one day and I don't use, and I have it and it's just in the way for the rest of my life. But in this case right here, this is just a little tiny bit, and I'm just going to take and stick this in with my other switches, and then if I can get this, there we go. I'm going to stick it, well, maybe not. I'm going to stick this in with my other switches, and I'll have it if I need to make something work. So I've got that. So here's another switch, and I didn't really tell you anything on it. It's got, the switch is a on, off, on. So down is on, middle is off, and up is on. And the switch that's in here, it says on, off, on. That's the same one that's in here. It's a 3-position. So where you push it down and it's engaged to one side of the switch, push it all the way up, it's engaged to the other side of the switch, put it in the middle, and it's off. It's not engaged to either side. You've just got your ground connection in the middle. And so this is an on-off on switch. It's a 6-amp, 125-volt AC, which, by the way, it's an AC switch. It didn't have a part number on it for me to give you in case you need to match up for one of these radios, but I'm going to measure it so that you'll have that information. This is in inches. It is 1/2 inch, which I think that would be 13.5 millimeters. And then I'm going to measure it, the metal part, not the plastic center part. That is 32.32 inches, which, let's see, 5/16 inch, 8 millimeter. And then the height of the switch is 0.37, or might as well say 0.38 inch, 3/8 inch, and 9.5 millimeter. Then the barrel is, I guess you can round that off to 0.23 inch, 7/32, or 5.76 millimeters. And if I remember right, I think they were called 6 millimeter switches. And so that's basically it. Take those dimensions and find something that matches close to it, and it's an on, off, on configuration, and you can replace any of the switches on your TX12. And if I remember right, the switch set for this radio was right at $15, and they canceled it, and I'm getting my $15 back. But I'm reusing a 10-cent switch that I bought years ago for another project. I think I ended up buying like 12 or 15 of these things, or maybe even more. I think I got 2 packs, and it was like a couple dollars a piece. And so I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of these. So that's pretty cool. And hopefully that'll help somebody out. If you have one of these radios and you have a broken switch, it is, in my opinion, well worth getting you a handful of these little small on-off on switches to have on hand to do repairs. So I appreciate you being here. I enjoy spending time with you. I hope you got something from this, and I will see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.